The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And we welcome you back to the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. This portion of the show brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com. Bryan Weakley joins me here, the head coach of the Siegel Stars, the Lady Stars, and in action today.
Yes, sir.
And who you drawing today and what time you playing?
We have Oakland at 3:30, so it's actually kind of cool. The district is pretty much the same on the girls and the boys side, same matchups for both of them. So.
And that's a pretty good matchup for you, isn't it, the Oakland Lady Patriots?
I feel like it could be. I mean, we played pretty well. They surprised me the first time we played them. We made a decent little comeback there at the end, and I think we lost by 6, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And then the second game, we were down by 1 halfway through the third quarter, and just ended up losing. We were actually down by 2 or 3, I think, right there with like a minute and a half to go in the game, and ended up turning the ball over a couple times, and that kind of put us back in the hole with a minute to go. So, personally, I just been preaching to the girls all week. We got an opportunity to make some type of history today if we can beat Oakland and, get to that district championship, which seems kind of wild to think about. But
a big one at home
yep.
against Riverdale. I think that's a big help.
Yeah.
When you're going into a tournament, it was a close game, and you had to kind of hold on to win and hit your free throws, that kind of game. Aubrey Carroll hit a couple of big ones.
Yeah.
And some good defensive plays. A lot of fouls. I mean, it's memorable, but I didn't think the officials, I'm not going to knock them, but I'm just saying they did not allow you to play the game very much. I mean, you couldn't get a rhythm.
To be honest, I don't know if we got up and down the floor 3 times without a foul. I feel like we played, we might have got up and down once or twice, and then you get a foul. But for the most part, every possession seemed like there was some type of whistle.
And it was both teams.
Game.
It was both sides. It was really just, not one side.
And they were those officials aren't in our normal officials, so it was kind of interesting to have them, and they don't really know anything about us. So
I wanted to talk about that game. Was Neela was back, and I think she looks about 70%, but I'd rather have her at 70% than not have her at all.
Oh yeah, I mean to have her at all this year, having her come back has been huge for us, and it shows. I mean, she's a good floor leader for us. The girls look up to her, and just her poise inside the paint and at the free throw line, and to be able to step out and shoot a 3, which she ain't made a 3 yet since she's been back, but. I got a good feeling it's going to happen today because she keeps working, and that's one thing I love about that kid.
If anything, she does one thing: she can draw us fouls.
Yeah,
and she can hit it. She can shoot free throws.
Yeah,
and that helps.
Yeah,
anytime
that's a huge difference.
When you're having trouble scoring offensively, that could be a big thing. I felt like as the game progressed, in that game that she got the old Neela was back for a few minutes. Just when you really had to have her at crunch time. And it's a credit to her to come back and, not being totally 100%. She could just chuck it and say, I'm not coming,
Yeah, and to be honest, I fully expected her to, sit out the rest of the year with her, got the opportunity to go play college ball next year. And, that to me is more important than this right now. But, at the same time, the fact that she came back shows, who she is and what she's about and her leadership and everything. And I think that's, going to carry over into college.
I want to talk about some of them. I get kind of pumped when I talk about it. I like Jones. Is it Jones?
Lex, yeah.
I like her style of play. I don't think she's put it all together yet.
Not yet. Yeah, she's
one of those you're waiting on.
Yeah,
for it to happen.
I feel like it's coming, but she just does little things for us.
Yeah, and a fairly good shooter, and she does. Aubrey does. I think Aubrey is not going. Aubrey is. She kind of plays like her personality. She's kind of a shy, but she does everything right. She doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
In the right spots. Yeah. She's pretty smart. She'll knock down shots. She's gotten a lot more aggressive lately, which has been really good for us. I just tell her all the time, shoot the basketball. Just try to give her some confidence in that. But She's one that she got in the starting lineup last year, and I can't take her out. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, she does little things and does right. She's in the right spots all the time. So
She's one of those quiet kind of leaders kind of thing.
Her stuff don't show up in the stats. That's for sure.
I'm trying to think. McDuffie. Let's talk about McDuffie because she's one of my favorites. She comes in, sparks a little bit, and one-on-one, she can probably go with anybody in the district. Really.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, she's pretty raw at the one-on-one abilities and everything. Basketball IQ is what we're working on with her as much as we can, but she pretty much can get to the basket whenever she wants to for the most part. And just trying to teach her, and I think that's what helped her in that game. Is she's finally learned. It's not one-on-one. McKnight Park or Patterson Park or in open gyms, and she has really developed the opportunity. She made great passes to Kyla Dowdy a couple times in that first half when she got put in. So she's finally starting to see the floor a little bit more, which has really opened up the lanes for her because they can't help over and whatnot.
I love how you sub. Ignatz plays with a lot of heart and determination. I really like her. Dowdy is another one that gives it her all, and she was so happy when y'all won that game the other night. I don't think anybody on the floor was happier than she was.
Yeah,
and had some big moments too.
Yeah, Kyla, she's a fantastic leader for us, a very vocal leader. When I got there, her skill set obviously was not that great, but she's gotten a lot better for us, and she's had some big moments this year and stepped up and made some big buckets for us. So just having her as a senior vocal leader as well has been good for us.
Doesn't start that much, but
right.
Still that leader from the floor. I could go on. Bird's another one. I think she's just a fraction away from.
Raya's a mid-range jump shot away from
Yeah.
being able to really put some things together for us. So hopefully that'll click, next year. Obviously this year we'd like it to click right now, but, for sure next year with her being a sophomore. So
got a freshman, Lester. Is it Lester?
Yeah, Lydia.
Yeah, Lydia.
Yep.
I've been impressed with her at times. She can play some defense too.
Yeah, and I hadn't played her as much throughout the year. I probably should have gotten her in a little bit more earlier on in the year, but against Oakland, I put her in. She played pretty well. Guarded up against number 3 for them. Did a good job. Number 3 was.
And Benford had about 15 points when she came in.
Yeah, she had already
about 3 or something like that.
So that was huge for us to see. And she's an athlete. She plays soccer. Really good soccer player, and her defensive skill is pretty good from that perspective.
She's quick for a big girl too.
Oh yeah,
very, very fast.
Yeah, she's pretty solid.
Brian, I'll tell you, I say all that to kind of like, if there's a really positive vibe, I feel like at Siegel.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting there. Okay, I'm 6 and whatever, and I'm 1-5, but you've been in every game. There haven't been a lot of blowouts, just and in years past there have been.
Right.
I just feel like, and I was just wondering what it would have been like, and I guess you do too, if Neela had not been hurt.
Yeah,
I think that surely would have made a huge difference in overall record. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like it would have made. I mean, we were, beginning of the year, everything, we were putting everything was running through Neela. That's pretty much what our MO was. Team camps early on in the year, we played really well at team camps. And then early on in the season, I still Columbia, I still am mad about because I feel like we could have and should have won that game, but. Just early on in the year, we were trying to run everything through her, and I feel like that, once she went down, it was like, oh man, now we gotta, we had to adjust on the fly on what we were trying to do and whatnot. So, just it's the time of year right now. It's anything goes. We're 0-0. So
I would have done the same thing though.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. All right, and we were talking about Oakland. I think this district tournament is going to be really interesting. I think boys and girls, because I've seen teams come alive, and I know Oakland and Scott would tell you this, that they have moments where they don't shoot very well. I mean,
right.
Everybody's got an issue.
Yeah,
I guess is my point. And even Rockville has some issues,
right.
In terms of they have lapses in scoring. And is that kind of the way it's been with every team? It seems like.
Seems like. I mean, for me, prospectively, I would say Blackman's probably the most well-rounded team in the county. Rockville's not too far behind.
Yeah.
But Rockville plays such a different style of pace that they're liable
That's what
to
you
give
got to
up.
prepare with them for, don't you?
Yeah, it's tough to play against Coach Lyons and that that pace and everything. So.
And rebounding would be huge, I would think, against them.
Yeah,
I would think.
Yeah, they crash the boards real hard.
Because they're gonna throw it out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
So Oakland likes to run a little bit as well. They're young. They're kind of like you. So I feel like it'll be a good game today.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
So how do you? I guess you don't want the point guard to do too much, against you.
Right.
I mean, she kind of runs the show a little bit,
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're thinking? Maybe
yeah, just kind of making sure that we keep her in front. Don't let her get to the basket. If she gets by us, she opens up the entire floor.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty good with that. And then just keeping Mullen from knocking down shots. Making sure we're closing out on her. Pretty well and things like that. And then I'm hoping that Neela coming back today. Hopefully that gives us a huge anchor inside that post position and keeps them from being able to score inside the paint as much as they have on us the first 2 games. So.
And then the region, everybody's going, and I think that's going to be more exciting than maybe the district in terms of close games because you've got Smyrna, you've got Laverne, you guys, Oakland. I mean and I know Blackman's probably up there a little bit, but gosh, those are going to be some close games, I think.
Yeah, I think the region can be pretty fun. To be honest, it's all that satellite games on Friday, Saturday next week. I kind of wish it was all at the same place just so you would get to see 4 good games on both sides and whatnot. But anything goes at this point. It's just jockeying for position really is what it feels like. We're just trying to see who we get on the other side, but just go out and try to play our best and try to get a win today and see where and that's the big thing is like it's kind of wild to think about if we can beat Oakland today. You get a home game next Friday, which is kind of wild to think about, but just one day at a time right now, and hopefully we play well today.
Well, tell Greg Wine to get everything organized today where you don't have to worry about any of that
I'm sure
stuff.
Coach Wyan's already sent me a couple texts this morning. So
he's got us set up pretty well, I think, too.
Yeah.
That's Bryan Weakley, the head coach of the Siegel Stars, and big win against Riverdale, and now they move on to the district tournament and see what kind of damage they can do there.
Yep. We're going to try not to play a 2.5-hour game today. We'll try to keep it under 2.5
That really wasn't all your
for
fault.
you.
Now, I have to blame some other people for that, too. This portion of the show is brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car. Professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com. When we come back, we'll be talking to Chris Lynch of the Eagleville Eagles.